Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would just do a really quick video on how I create my color palettes. What I've got here is a photo of a watercolor that I did earlier this year. For this purpose, we're just going to do like a quick rainbow. So the first thing I do is import the picture that I want to use, and then I'll create a new layer on top of it. And I just pick a brush that is like a mono weight, and I make it pretty big, so it's all the way up at the top. This one is, and that's about how big it is. So the first thing I do is I just go in with my color picker, and you can just hold your finger down on the screen to do that and pick a color. And let's start with like a purple, and then I just kind of color down here like a swatch, and I'm going to do 10 different swatches. So I'm going to grab a blue. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I have 10 different colors, and then I'm going to use my selection tool, make sure it's on rectangle, and I'm just going to take a big rectangle swatch of those and use 3 fingers to swipe down and cut and paste. And then in my new layer, I have that rectangle swatch. This and this I am done with, so I am going to get rid of both of these, and I'm left with my rainbow. So I'm going to move that up, and I'm going to duplicate that layer twice. Okay, so I have 3 of them. The one on the top, I'm going to take and I'm going to move it up. If this jagged line from where you're obviously not drawing perfectly straight bothers you, you can do flip vertical, and it'll kind of make it a little more seamless. And we're going to do the same thing with the bottom one and move it down. And there you go. So now I have 3 of them. I'm going to start with the one on the top. The one on the top, I'm going to make a little bit lighter shades of these. So I'm going to go up here to my hue, saturation, and brightness. Make sure I'm on that layer. I'm going to choose the layer, and down at the bottom, I'm going to make them brighter. And if you watch the colors, they will get lighter and lighter. You can play with the saturation. This is another fun way to do that, to make different color palettes. And the hue. So I'm sorry, this is saturation. The one before that was the hue. So I usually leave those 2 alone if I'm looking for 3 lines of the same type of color. If I'm looking for a full palette of 30 different shades, I'll play with the hue more. But for now, I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom one, and this one I'm going to make darker. Again, hue, saturation, and brightness. And this one I'm going to turn the brightness down, which makes them darker. You can see some of these got almost black, which is fine. That gives just some nice intensity to the colors. So now I have 3 different lines of colors that are light, medium, and dark. There is another way that I like to do colors, and that one is taking my same 10 colors that I did before, and this is where I'll show you how I get 30 different unique colors. So in this one, I'm going to play with the hue. Oh, you know what? I need to duplicate this so that I have them, and move them up and move it down. Okay, so now I have my 3 lines again. I'm going to choose the layer, and I'm going to use this top layer. I'm going to play with the hue this time. So let's do this sliding to the right. I don't like that at all. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm going to leave the middle layer alone. I'm going to go down to the bottom layer. I'm going to choose that again. And this time I'm going to play with the saturation. And I'm also going to play with the hue a little bit. You can see it changing. And That's really saturated. It's hard to see in the video. I'm getting lots of green shades over here. So that will give you 30 different colors. And then there's one other way that I like to make a palette. So I'm going to start with a clean canvas, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose the disc, or you could do it on the classic square. I like the disc. So let's pick one color to start with. First I'm going to create a new palette. So I have that down here to work with. I'm also going to clear out my recents. Okay, so let's pick one color to start with. Let's pick that pink shade. I'm going to scribble it over here. Oh, you know what? I need to scribble it more in the middle. Okay, so to make 10 colors, I'm going to add a bunch on this side and a bunch on that side. And I'm going to do that by going a little bit to the right and down, and I'm going to color, and a little bit to the right and down and color. And then I'm also going to go back to my original color, and I'm going to change this part of the color wheel, and I'm going to color, and to the right and down a little bit, and to the right and down a little bit. And then I'm also going to go back to my original color, and I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go up here, to the right and down a little bit. I'm going to go down to some more purple shades down here. You know what? Let's go into more blues. Oops, sorry. There we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 colors. And then you would just keep doing that, where you take your rectangle and do your lighter and darker shades. And you can see just by playing around on that wheel all the different color combinations that we've made. If you pick any 3 or 4 of these, they're going to look pretty good together. And you might come up with some that you never really even thought about. So sometimes, you know, if you start with a color that you really don't like, sometimes that's what I do, which sounds weird. But let's start with this guy. He is kind of a mustardy yellow, not my favorite, but let's see what we can come up with. To the right and down a little bit, and to the right and down a little bit. And then I'm going to change on the wheel. I'm going to go this way a little bit. Work my way back up and to the left would be the opposite. And then let's go, hold on, I'm going to pick that original color again and go this way on the wheel. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's go one more darker on this end. Okay, I've got a very like pumpkin-y vibe going on here, all from a color that I wasn't really thrilled with before, but I kind of like this palette. If you take some of these colors and add them together, and I'm just totally picking at random, you know, that's pretty interesting. And you can pick some really interesting combos just by starting with a color that you weren't really pleased with, you know, and you can get some nice variations. Let's add that up there. You know, those are some nice fall color palettes. So that is the last way that I create a palette, and I hope you have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.